Today on the Rustic Belly, I'm going to teach you how to make my egg rolls. What? I know. Sorry, it's a little joke there for you. I'm going to make them with tofu as my protein. Usually, if I make them with meat, I use 16 ounces, 2 pounds of meat. So, just get your tofu. I dry it out, squish it up like that, and this is what I do too. If I make them like with chicken or pork, I'll do half pork, half tofu, and whoever's eating them doesn't know that you're using tofu. I also have these tofu towels because it's good to, this is what I call my tofu towels, to squeeze the moisture out of your tofu. I fold them up, boom, boom, and I put them back in their container to keep the shape. So if you want to make squares or little sticks, you can do that. But I take the moisture out so then you can put the moisture or the flavor you want back into the tofu. Since it's so easy to do, you don't need a food processor or anything. But if you have like chicken, if you have ground chicken, you would cook your chicken before. Pork, cook your chicken before. If you had any ground beef, cook your beef before. Okay? But since this is already a cooked food, I can eat it. It's delicious. So tasty. It's not. But it's good for you. Get organic though, so you don't get non-GMO stuff. Alright, so mix this up. Actually, I'm going to mix it up a little better. You want littler pieces and then your kids don't go, Mom, what's that? You can always tell them it's chicken. They won't know. With all the other good yummy stuff. And it's deep fried. Come on. Deep fry it. Okay, so I think that's pretty good because we're going to mix everything else up with it. After I have that smushed up, this is my homemade Asian dressing that has a soy sauce, fresh ginger, fresh garlic, peanut oil, seasoned rice vinegar, and did I say sesame oil already? Sesame oil. But those things I can't tell you the quantity because that's just for my kids. Even though I'm doing this for my children, they can call me and ask me for the exact measurements. Because one day I will either have a food truck or a restaurant, which will be using it in some capacity. So it has to be a secret. See how the soy gets into the tofu, so it gives it a little bit of flavor. Now, when I used to make egg rolls before, I used to cook everything, and I got everything very, very soggy, and it didn't work very well because it would break the skin of the egg roll wrappers. So I just kind of learned, and this is what cooking is, trial and error. I learned this last time when I made it for my cousin. She wanted me to make her a bunch of food. I made her a bunch of meatballs, so if you look at the meatball video, I talk about my cousin Celine. She also wanted me to make her my egg rolls. So I tried them this way for her. She was my experimental guinea pig, and it worked really, really well. I used 8 ounces of rice noodles. You can get them at an Asian store. It's just rice and water. It doesn't have to be any specific brand, but I just want to show you what it is. This is 17.5 ounces, so obviously you just use about half of that. Soak them in warm water for about 15-20 minutes. And I like to put, I'm putting sheets of paper towel in between them, because again, we don't want our mixture very wet, because if it's very wet, look at all the moisture that come out. It will break your egg roll wrappers and it just makes a mess in your frying pan. So, I'm going to put 8 ounces of rice noodles in there. I have 3 grated carrots already prepped.
3 what?
Grated carrots. Huh?
3. How many? Oh, 3 grated.
3. 1, 2, 3 zanahorias. 2 bunches of green onions. And then I have 4 ounces of baby spinach, roughly chopped. You can use frozen spinach, but again, make sure you take the moisture out. I do like to have something very dark and green in there because it makes me feel better. And then I've used kale before as well. And this is a 2-pound cabbage, shredded finely. I know they sell this, I think, already shredded. If you want to do that, you can do that too. So we're gonna get all this mixed up, and then when we come back, we're gonna roll them. Okay, I've mixed, incorporated, meshed, blah, 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 all of those ingredients. You really want to get them mixed well. Sometimes the tofu will fall to the bottom because it's heavier, so just try to get some on the top so you get an even distribution when you make your egg rolls. It's not always going to happen, but really it's deep fried, so who really cares? I like to use spring roll wrappers because they really are thinner and crisper. Again, I don't think brand matters, but spring roll are different from egg roll wrappers. Egg roll wrappers are a little thicker. You're gonna get more of a tortilla consistency. So I like the spring roll wrappers. I also keep them covered in a cloth because they can dry. You don't have to be too, I mean it's thin, but don't be too paranoid to use them. They're sturdy, like people are afraid to hold babies because they're delicate. They're delicate, but they're also tough. See, so you just want to be a little careful. We're gonna wrap a couple of these up. We'll do 3. How's that? We'll do 3, and then like I said, I'm gonna make extras and roll them. Freeze them. So I'll just keep those covered. You can dampen your cloth if you want. Actually, don't dampen your cloth. You'll just get your wrappers too wet. Do it at an angle. It's kind of like wrapping a burrito. Grab a handful. I used to also overstuff them because I thought more was better because more is usually better. But in this case, it's not. And get it to the closest corner to yourself. And don't be afraid to squeeze this. I mean, it looked like a lot of stuffing, but you're gonna close your corners and then even get your fingers and kind of put that inside, and then you roll it, and there you have one egg roll. Get your other wrapper, the same. Try to get the same amount of mixture. I mean, I don't have an exact measurement, but just, you know, try to get some color variation in there. Put the corner in and pull it through. Again, you think you're gonna break it, but you're not. It's delicate and crispy when you make them, but it's pretty sturdy, a sturdy dough. All right, we'll do one more, and then we're gonna come and fry. Let me turn my oil up real quick. Should be done. Should be almost hot. See, that little spinach leaf is a little too big, so I cut it up. A little more. Ooh, a little more. Why not? Squeeze it towards you. Put that in and that in. And the reason you want these in, because if it's not closed in all the way, you're going to have an explosion on your hands, which has happened to me before. Okay. So we're going to check our oil. If you're not sure if your oil's ready, let's say you don't have a thermometer, 350, take a piece of your egg roll wrapper skin, put it in there. And if it's frying up pretty quickly and getting brown, your oil's ready. Because basically everything inside your egg roll wrapper is already cooked. So we're gonna put these in, and put it in with the open side down, so that way it'll kind of seal shut. Oh yeah. This one open on me, try to get away. There we go. I'm gonna get those golden brown. Well, those are frying. I'm gonna wrap one more because I'll fry. How many are you gonna eat? 3, 4? I'm gonna have to wrap more. We're gonna make our sauce. Well, actually, we can just hold on a minute. These are getting all, see, they're already getting brown. That's all you need with everything being cooked. And when you start getting golden brown, you start turning them over. And that's it. It's not too difficult. Sometimes the prep takes a little bit of time, but once everything is prepped, it's pretty easy. The other thing is to make extras, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in your freezer, and once they're frozen, carefully spatula them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. And you have egg rolls in your freezer. When you ever get hungry, plop them in the oven. Not in the oven, put them in fry them up. I would suggest make sure your oil is not too hot, because it'll burn the outside of your egg roll wrapper and the inside will still be cold. So it's kind of like a delicate balance. But, you know, again, trial and error. Trial and error. All right, I think these are getting done. See, that's kind of the color you want them. And when we come back, we're gonna make our dipping sauce as these cool so we can dip and eat. Okay. I rolled up extra ones, and these are the ones I'm gonna put in the freezer. There's more mixture to roll, but it's Friday and I don't wanna do it right now, so I'm just gonna save it till tomorrow. So I'm gonna put these in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm just make sure they're frozen, and when they're frozen and are falling on the floor, I'll just put them in a Ziploc bag. I'd also like to give a shout out to my oldest son. For UT fans, I apologize for the, well, actually I don't apologize for my Aggie shirt. My son will be attending A&M in the fall, so I'm a proud mama, so I'm going to be wearing my Aggie shirts. I came out of the womb a U of A Wildcat, but when you have kids, things change, so go Cats, go Aggies, and then we'll see where my other children go. Okay, anyway, enough about me and my children. We already, because that's another show. Get Dr. Phil and Oprah together. That's what's gonna take. I fried some of the egg rolls. I put some soy sauce into a little ramekin. I add a little bit of rice vinegar. You can use light soy sauce if you want to. I don't, because I'm a saltaholic and I like salt. If my daughter was here, she's sleeping, so she already had dinner. I wouldn't add sriracha, but if you want a little spice, add some sriracha. And that's it. That's how I make my egg roll dipping sauce. You can just use straight soy sauce. That's what we used to use as kids. But I've really learned to love seasoned rice vinegar. It adds a new flavor to everything. Ready? Say hello, Friday night. Oh, it's so hot. But it's really good. That's good for you. It's all fruit, vegetables, and tofu. It's deep frying, so it's about balance. So right here, you got the perfect balanced meal. Deep fried vegetables. It's yummy. And the sauce is delicious. So make them at home. You'll love them, or in college. See you next time.